All right, welcome back to the away end. I got Devin and Oliver here with me today. I'm expecting Yusuf and Johnny to stop in at some point, but got a lot to talk about today. And yeah, just for starters, Devin, Oliver, how you guys doing?
Good.
Feeling
Yeah,
like a
You?
villain, man.
yes, I'm doing good too. I'm excited. There's a lot of news. This is actually 2 weeks since our last podcast. I wanting to try and get conversations going after that City Arsenal game, but it seems like we couldn't align on time. So we will touch on it today and talk about our thoughts on that game. But that's 2 weeks ago now, so we will talk about the more current things. But for starters, let's just jump straight into fantasy. So just for recap, last week Chile, or for the last couple of weeks, Chile's been on top. Um, this most recent week, or I guess we'll just say Twisto, Oliver, here.
Woo!
He can talk on it. You've been dead last up until, I mean, you still are. So before,
Hey, hey,
but with the condition that you jumped up, you won the league this week. You got 86 points more than anybody. And, I mean, talk us through it. I mean, it's not just, you did have Cole Palmer, who did score 4 goals, so that helped a lot. But the rest of your team actually got a lot of points too. So did you do any changes? You used any wild cards, or how'd that go about? How'd you go about this week?
No, so this week I didn't make much changes.
Okay, so most of these players
I
you had
used
already?
I already had them. Yeah, I did my wild card last week, and I didn't get
Yeah.
nothing for it. So I think
Oof.
that one stung, but it paid off this
Yeah.
week. So
Did, yeah, it definitely did. And you're right up there. You're not too far away. I think one or two more good fixtures, you're in the top four again. So it's just one of those
yeah.
things where,
So it's
and
just bad
again,
luck, man.
yeah, it is. And then, like I keep reminding people, Yusuf started 3 weeks late, so he had 0 points compared to everyone's like 200, 300 last season, and he won the whole thing. So, and it's a
Yeah.
long season, a very long season. I know I pulled an Arsenal last fantasy where I was on top the whole season, and the last like 8 match weeks, I just ended up in like seventh. It was anything can happen, and but yeah, I had a pretty good week too. I didn't have Cole Palmer, and I still ended up with 75 points, which is pretty crazy. I think my biggest
Jesus, that is pretty
where
crazy.
yeah, where I got lucky is all my players scored. So I had a Martinelli who scored, Cech who scored, Vardio who scored, Salah who scored, Watkins who scored. Like I just had a lot of different players get a bunch of points, so it all racked up. I did bank my fantasy this week on Villa. I kind of hoped that they were gonna smash Ipswich and had captain and vice captain as Villa players. That didn't play out. Thankfully, they did come back and win the game, and it got me some points. But I was getting scared for a little bit. Definitely won't disrespect Ipswich as much as I did that week. But yeah, I mean, it worked out better than everyone else who captained Holland because he didn't do too hot. He got like 2 points. So
It was
I
about
mean,
time though that guy cooled down a little bit, no?
yeah, yeah, it is. He's been on fire. He's been crazy, and yeah, it's been fun. I really like fantasy. And Devin, I don't think you're with us this season for fantasy, right? I don't see your name in here.
Yeah, no, I'm
Yeah,
not.
yeah, but I'm having a great time with fantasy. I think it's just a cool way to keep you engaged and interacting. And yeah, that was our weekly fantasy recap. But moving on from fantasy, we're gonna go straight into the Champions League. So one of the things we talked about last time, the last pod, was that there's a new format. It's a league format. There's no more groups. It's one big league group, and the top whatever amount of teams, 18 or whatever, 16 teams are gonna qualify, go through the next phase, and that's when we go to our knockouts. You can look into the details, however what you want to do. But I guess it's the top eight qualify now. I remember, and then 9 through 18th to have a playoff. So yeah, how do we like it so far? Obviously, we've only seen one match. Second, some teams have played their second match now, but how are you guys liking it so far?
Well, I think we got to see a little bit more, but
Yeah,
hopefully hopefully it works. I mean, it's gonna be game heavy, and I think a lot of players are already complaining about how many games they got to play this year.
yeah, definitely for sure. We've
Um,
had rumors of player
so
strikes and stuff.
hopefully it doesn't come with like injuries and kills the season for a lot of these teams. But I don't know. I think the first round went pretty well. A lot of a lot of goals. I don't know if you saw the
Yeah,
score. It was Dortmund cooked. this
Yeah,
week.
Dortmund could for sure.
6
No,
goals.
I agree with the whole we gotta wait a little bit more. It's one game, so it's hard to compare it to the previous seasons when we've only seen one. One thing I will say though is one thing that we're already gonna notice a change is we're not gonna play any team twice. So the teams we've already played, we're not playing them again, and we're used to having that double fixture, home and away against the same team. So any team we play, Devin, I know Madrid plays Liverpool this season. We're not gonna get a home and away. It's just gonna be one or the other. And I believe you guys are home, right, for Madrid. I believe it's in Anfield.
Um, that is a good question.
So
I
yeah,
think
if
so.
yeah, if you can check, that'd be great. But like that's one thing that is a little bit of a downside, I would say, is you don't get the opportunity to play that team or that big game at your home pitch, depending on how the game lands. So if
Yeah,
I kind of
before,
I kind
November
of like that.
27th at Anfield.
yeah, so you do like that twist? Okay, so do you
I
want to do
do
you want to
because
talk
it
on
gives
that?
you like one opportunity, and it's like do or die. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
no, I hear that. I guess my and I don't necessarily have a stance or anything. I still want to see it
Says
through
I can
to
buy tickets.
yeah, yeah.
Should I do
But
it?
I
Pull the
mean,
trigger?
shoot, I wouldn't blame you. But like I
Don't
guess
even
my
have a
my stance
passport,
is
just buying the tickets.
right. Resell it, man. I guess my stance is just like, sometimes you look forward to the home fixture because you're at a disadvantage with the away fixture, especially in a fortress like Anfield. So what does that like do to your team? How does that affect you? I think the top team should perform fine anyway because we do get more games against lesser teams too. So does that really factor into it? We don't really know because the it's just starting, but it is something that we don't get. Like we're so conditioned to having. If you have a big team in your group, you get two fixtures all the time. You're gonna get the home and the away, and yeah, now that's not a thing anymore. At least until the knockout rounds. But that's one change. Outside of that, you did talk about the injuries. I don't know how much of this has led to what we'll talk about later with the Rodri injury, but we haven't really seen any injuries happen in the Champions League yet. At least I haven't seen all the games today. I haven't heard of anybody getting hurt in Champions League today.
no.
You guys have fears of these extra two games and leagues gonna translate into injuries later in the prem, maybe even closer to like Boxing Day where there's that congestion of fixtures in like a month or two. Do you think that might have impact?
Yeah. Um, I mean, that's the thing, man, because it's just like you're playing 8 games instead of 6, and I don't think they're taking the break
No, there's no break. It's
between
gonna
between the knockout round. So that's just gonna. It's
it's
just so
it's
many. There's so many games.
it's full on. Yeah, it's just definitely. I feel like a lot of the teams that don't have the squad depth that like a Chelsea does, funny enough, but
Well, that's the thing
Chelsea
is like
or yeah, go
it's
for
like
it.
because like Chelsea, they're loaning a lot of their players out. Like a lot,
Yeah,
like they don't have. I don't think they have that, as many players as they did when the season first started. But it wouldn't matter if they did because the you have to submit like
a roster.
a
Yeah,
limited roster
hmm
of players that are eligible in your club for each competition. And I know that's like why Chelsea, like I think they're in the Conference League, and
yeah, there.
like Cole Palmer isn't on their Europa Conference League roster.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Like because you can update your rosters
Yeah,
after the league phase or groups
yeah.
whatever, but so it's like if they make it to the knockouts, they'll probably add him to the roster. But it's just like that thing. It's just like when you have to submit a set roster, it's like what's the point in having 40 people on your team
Yeah, if you can't even use your
Because
resources yet.
it's like you would almost need the 40 players to play in all the
Mhm.
competitions and not overwork your players.
And yeah, the rules
But
are
when you
always
have to
muddy.
but when you have to set rosters, it's like, oh well, I can't even utilize this depth that I have.
Yeah, I hear you. And yeah, I was just gonna get to like you hear the Barcelona. Obviously, they got their keeper injured. Verstegen out pretty much. I don't know if it's for the season or for a long time. So they did get permission to change the roster, whether that was bring an academy kid or sign a free agent. And that was directly, it's not, rumors are that they're going to get Chesney. And that's the free agent that they can update and add to their roster. But then you have other teams that aren't able to do things like that. So I don't know what the rules are, if it differs between leagues and cup competitions, but it's always been a little muddy to me. So I wish I had some way of knowing or getting the clarification of how that works. But I do agree, for a team to not feel the ramifications of all these fixtures, they would need a whole 40 players available, healthy, and be able to be listed on their team roster at any moment's notice. And that's obviously not the case. So I don't know how it's going to look towards the back end of the season, especially with what is it, the Club World Cup in 2025 too. So
Mhm.
yeah, there's a lot going on. I don't know how serious the teams are going to take that competition with all the congestion, and on top of it, I don't know when in 2025. I think it's early 2025 it starts. What that's like the back end of the Champions League. Are we going to be wanting to prioritize one or the other? Like the way you get into the Club World Cup is winning the Champions League. So is someone gonna want to prioritize the Club World Cup when they're in the quarterfinals of the Champions League? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. Um, I guess
Yeah,
then,
well, that just reminds me of like when Liverpool were in the Club World Cup a couple of
yeah,
years ago, and I think like the only reason they took it as seriously as they did is because it was really important to the Brazilians in the squad, like Firmino and
yeah,
Fabinho and Alisson. Like the Club World Cup is like really important to a lot of South American players.
yeah, absolutely. 'Cause they're the
So it's like
underdogs. They're the underdogs. So when they get to the competition and they want to win it,
and but like the thing is like the next day or like day before or same day, they had a league game again. Or it was either a league game or a cup game against Villa, and
yeah, I do remember this.
so
Yeah,
like the main team traveled to
and then all the kids played, right?
and yeah, and then like yeah, and they were coached by like the youth academy coach.
Yep.
So it's like for like a domestic league or domestic cup game, you had a bunch of kids playing.
That's kind of what's going to have to happen if these fixtures and line up the way that did. And that was before all these additions to Champions League and stuff. So who knows how it's going to play out? I not optimistic, but I will see. Trace, you have any other thoughts on this?
Nah, yeah, I think they're just gonna sign up different rosters for different competitions. Use like pretty much a priority list of what tournaments they'd like to be better in and win or
Yeah.
whatever, and then sign up different rosters for each competition. I don't see any other way unless, yeah, I guess like they sign up the same people but just rotate them like crazy. You know?
So I want to pitch out this crazy conspiracy theory. What if Todd Bowley actually knows what he's doing and he's signing all these players because he knew this was going to happen, and he knew that Chelsea needed trophies and they needed silverware, and the only way to do it is to have a 60-man roster available and have a 23-man roster for this tournament and this tournament and this tournament, and they'll be the only team that has fresh legs in every competition. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe
Working
I mean,
test.
they are cooking right now too, so I mean, shoot, he might be he might be onto something. He might be seeing something that we
Playing
didn't
test,
see.
bro.
They have
Bro,
30 players in their team.
30. He's
Yeah,
playing chess,
because
and we're all playing checkers, bro. Telling you.
they've loaned a lot of players since the start of
Yeah.
the season.
Kind of had to. They don't want to have that many players just sitting around, just not getting any game time. So makes sense. But they're doing well. I mean, the Prem anyway, and they're also one of the teams that actually qualified to the Club World Cup. So they're gonna need as many people as possible because I think the Club World Cup, the way you qualify is historically and recent, and historically goes back to like 4 years ago. I think maybe. I don't know how long ago it's been since Chelsea won the Champions League, but they just
Longer
met
than
the
that.
cutoff. They just met the cutoff, so that's why they're there because they're there as previous Champions League winners. And yeah, so it'll be interesting. And if Chelsea ends up with a lot of silverware this year, we're gonna have to give Todd Bowley his flowers, man. He knows what he's doing. That's insane.
That
But
is insane to think about.
yeah, no, I don't think that'll happen. But the way Cole Palmer is cooking right now, dude, call him Ice Cold Palmer for a reason. But I guess we could talk straight into that. And Oliver, you mentioned talking about top scorers. Do we think Cole Palmer is gonna have a repeat of last season? I know most of his goals happened in just this most recent fixture, 4 goals. He has 6 total, I believe, in the season. So it's not like he's been cooking like Holland has up until this point. We finished the season last year as young Premier League player of the season, and this season he looking just as good as ever. Looks really sharp. He doesn't really miss his opportunities. Do you think
Man,
he's
yeah,
yeah?
I think he does, man. He's if you watch that game against Brighton,
Dude, the free
the
kick
way
was insane.
the way he was shooting and the way he was moving, man, I I think he's gonna do it again this year. And that was Brighton. I mean, we're talking about a team that is pretty good, you know, and then it's not like no pushover. It's not like
Yeah,
freaking Southampton or anything, you know what I mean?
yeah, I hear you.
So, yeah, I think he'll have many of those. Will he have them against big teams? That's the question. That's that's gonna be the question right there. If he can do it against like a Arsenal or like a Man City, you know. I don't
Yeah,
know. I don't doubt the guy. I think he's a little. I don't know. I'm a little mixed feelings because of the team he's with. You know,
yeah,
he
yeah.
doesn't
I hear
have
you.
like that delivery guy like of Odegaard or something. You know, like maybe you could say. Uh, I don't know. I guess who could you say that is the guy that feed him assists? You know.
I mean, currently, right now, the hope is that it's Sancho, and he's been doing that up until
Yeah.
this point. But he obviously hasn't proven that consistency. But if that were to stay what he's doing now, it would be him. Um, I don't know. I really like Cole Palmer. I don't know how much this is gonna continue. I think he's gonna definitely thrive. He's doing well, and I like to see a player thrive, especially because he just was undervalued where he was at. And I think he's going to be one of those players that is looking to prove a point even more so than he did last season. I think he was upset that he didn't actually win player of the season. I think he himself truly believes he deserved it over Foden. And to get young player of the season is kind of like he wants to prove people wrong. And I'm looking forward to that because I want to see what the best version of Cole Palmer is. And it's going to be exciting because if, like, again, we talked about just now, if Chelsea ends up winning silverware this season and Todd Bowley was right about everything, dude, it's going to be, the headlines will be crazy. But that being said, Oliver, you mentioned Cole Palmer. We're playing under somebody like under Odegaard. Do you think Cole Palmer fits better in any of these other Premier League teams, whether it be going back to City, going to Liverpool, going to Arsenal? Would he be at that point one of the best players in the Prem? Should he stay at Chelsea? What are our thoughts on him actually leaving Chelsea?
I think he would do well. He would do just as good or better in a different team like Arsenal, for
Yeah,
example. Just because the guy um he tries hard. I don't know how to explain it, but like that dude, I think will shine anywhere he goes. I think he would do better. I mean, that's what really what he needs is somebody that feeds him the
Okay.
ball even more than because he creates these chances. You know, he creates these chances and he's scoring like crazy. I mean, last game he was just going off, but if he had somebody to help him every week, I mean, this would be. Yeah, I think he would be like another Holland, to be honest. I mean, not as good as Holland because Holland is just a different animal, right?
Yeah, he's a
It's all,
monster.
I
Yeah.
don't want to put him up there with Holland, but I would probably put him up there like with like Isak. You know what I'm saying? Like in
Okay.
terms of goal scoring.
So Yusuf, you here now? We're talking about your old man. Would you take him back?
In a fucking heartbeat. You know, it's one of
Yeah.
those things where I gotta put my hands up and be like, damn, we got that wrong. And, you know, just it looks back, you know, it makes sense for Chelsea gaming as De Bruyne. We gotta give him Palmer. The ebb and flow of the universe balances, checks and balances and shit. But dude, he just like Twisto said, like he can go into any team and play. He's not a systems player as much as like Foden or even Saka. Like
Yeah.
he is just a pure footballer, and
Footballer, yeah.
we don't. It's not many of those left in this world, bro.
Bro, you can tell that football's his life. There's nothing going on outside his head. So
That
No,
dude has
football,
fuck
like
bro.
no
no,
character. So
No
this
hell
character. That's
no.
all he does, bro.
I
It's
mean,
and not to dog on the guy,
Interviews are
but because
hilarious.
yeah, he's a strange character, and like sometimes that's what you need to be
Not good.
good that good in your field, your expertise. Because if you're just not very like involved in anything else, you got a one track mind, and you're just awkward. You're just vibing. You're not letting it. Nothing phases you. You could have the worst game ever, and the next week you're gonna score a hat trick, like because nothing phases you, and that sometimes is better than someone that rides heavily on confidence. Because when you see players that lack confidence, they take months to get back into form. But Devin, we haven't asked you yet. Would Cole Palmer be somebody you'd like to add to Liverpool?
Uh, I mean, he would be nice. I'm not. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah,
He would be a great player to have, but I'm not really sure who I would like give up to have him start.
yeah, I hear you. Yeah, because you got solid players. The
Because
system would be a little different.
like yeah, so it's just like as a player like him, not willing to start, willing to be a rotation player or like a super sub. I don't think so. So it's just like
No, I agree. I think he's
so
definitely
it's,
at the point in his career where
it's like
he's not gonna.
when you have Alexis McAllister and Dominic Soboslai and um right now Gravenberch is killing it and I don't know where I just don't think it would be like a good fit.
I hear you, and you still haven't even played Keza yet, so that's another guy to add to your
Yeah.
roster. Darwin Nunez, Luis Diaz is killing it. It's a really stacked offense. I mean, Salah might be the only one that could possibly leave if you guys get a good deal on him since he's towards the end of his contract. But even him, you do already kind of have replacements lined up. And whether or not you feel comfortable with Palmer taking a role like that, he's a different type of player, who knows if that's a smart decision or not. So I understand your mindset there. Um, but I think overall, do we all just kind of agree that Cole Palmer is ascending into a level of, I don't know if we want to call him quite world class yet, but he's knocking on the door.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I mean, he's
Okay.
just on he's one of the better players in the Premier League and he's so young. So it's just like
he's he's the next Salah.
Oh wow, that's big words, bro. That's big praise.
Yeah, I mean, I think so.
You mean numbers wise or like?
Yeah.
Because I don't think he's the same. Okay, yeah, numbers wise, yeah,
Nah, not the same style. Nah, but
yeah,
numbers
yeah.
wise,
No,
he'll do what Salah
like
did.
I don't know if you guys saw that stat that for goal contributions, like he was above Holland, and that like I'm not trying to glaze Holland, but that's not an easy feat.
Yeah. I hear
Sounds
you,
like
dude.
Blazing.
Shut the hell up, man.
He's definitely impressed me a lot. I don't want to say I was a hater, but I was doubting how good he really
I
was.
thought he was overrated.
I thought he was overrated. I thought he was one of those guys that, like, just the media is kind of trying to hype him up. I did acknowledge he was a great player. I didn't think he was bad. There's plenty of players I think are overrated that I also think are bad. But Palmer, I thought, was a little overhyped, but a decent player. And he's just continuing to just prove me wrong and a lot of people wrong. And yeah, he's continued that solid form, and he's effectively carried Chelsea on his back, which is a really big ask when you see how far they were from being in the top four when now they're competing for the top four. And who knows how far this run goes. Are they going to be challenging for the title later on in the season? Who knows? But I mean, there's one thing for sure. If he continues this form, they're going to be up in and around the top positions. And I don't think any of us would have expected that given their situation and what we expected from them before the season started. So, I mean, props to him. I respect it. Hope he continues to do well. Chelsea is actually one of those teams I have nothing against, so I don't feel any problems if they win a trophy. It doesn't affect me in any way at all. So I it's actually one of those teams. It wouldn't bother me. We talk City, we talk United. That's a different story.
We
But
talk Arsenal.
yeah, Arsenal. That's a good story. But yeah, Chelsea doesn't bother me at all. So that would, and another team like that, surprisingly, even though I like Arsenal, is Spurs. Like if they were to win like a cup competition, it wouldn't phase me in the slightest.
Spoken like a true Arsenal fan. Fucking
Because
hell.
they're not gonna win anything, and if they do, bro, like I don't know, I don't see them winning. I think Spurs winning an FA Cup isn't gonna hurt me at all. Like that's not gonna bother
What
me.
if they go in Europe before you?
Oh well, yeah, that would stay. That would stay. They gotta qualify first, so. But
I mean, they can do it in Europa League. Would that not hurt you?
I think
You guys haven't won
no
Europa.
normally it wouldn't, but the fact that Arsenal bottled the final against Chelsea probably would. The fact that they were that close, that would hurt, yeah. So maybe I take that back, but yeah, I mean, Yusuf, you're here now. We haven't got to it yet, but we're getting straight into it now that you are. Talk me through this Rodri injury, man. Because don't you dare use this as an excuse for the last
Why
2
not?
weeks. Don't you dare use it as an excuse.
Why not?
Because you just got Gundogan back. And
No,
that was
no,
supposed
okay,
to be the replacement for tired legs. Tired legs, injured legs, same thing. The guy's not available. You have Gundogan. What's your excuse, man?
Dude, I don't have an excuse. I said this summer that we failed in the transfer market if all we got was Savinho and Gudu because we needed
What else do you want, though? Honestly,
we
More
needed a
midfield
striker.
depth?
We
Or
we
striker?
needed
you
a
needed a
second.
striker.
Julian left, okay. So we needed a backup because Holland.
He played a lot of games.
Hold on. Listen
He played
to
a
me.
lot of
Listen to me.
games
He
last
did
season.
exactly. He played a shit ton of games. If De Bruyne's right now out, Rodri's out for the season. If Holland goes, that's it. Even if he's out for as long as he was last year for 2 months, that 2 month span without Holland would really, I think, detriment us without somebody. Yeah, I know we're going to be playing false nine, and we played better that way. But besides Holland, I really don't see where we get goals in this team just yet. With him just now integrating Phil back into the team, and Savinho is still like getting his feet. It's just Holland who's going to get goals for us. So that's where I think we should have messed up. On Rodri's a huge De Bruyne for half a year. We've been and even longer. So this is where Pep does his genius and figures it the fuck out. Or we go big in January, and that's what I see. That's what I actually see happening. Because if it gets bad, we have to go. into
But
January.
I have a question that I would tack onto that. Why do you think the players you do have aren't fit enough to fulfill the roles that you're looking for in the transfer window? Because you have Mateus Nunez. I know
Mhm.
before you, but why do you think players like that aren't succeeding or aren't able to fulfill that role? I mean, we talk about the infamous Calvin Phillips. Why do you think why do you even sign these players if they're not going to step up or be asked to step up when it's necessary? Why do we not have Cole Palmer when you did have him be integrated into the squad? Why does this keep happening to City where they have to constantly keep going into the market and sign someone that they supposedly already had a position for? They had Julian Alvarez, they let him go, and now you want a striker. Why does this keep happening?
I'm kind of worried about my answer because I think it might be because they're worried about what Pep wants to do. Because if Pep resigns, that will clear up our transfer like future, like make sense to like who we want to go and get to mold into Pep's team. But if Pep walks away at the end of this year and we have all these players who we just bought, and like you said, Mateus Nunez, we've had a lot of fucking misses lately. We'll have the occasional hit here and there, like Gavardio and Savinho, but we've also had like a lot of misses, and they've been bad misses. Like Calvin Phillips and Mateus Nunes have been bad misses, especially in the midfield where we needed somebody to like at least give Rodri a fucking hand or like rest him a couple of games.
You just brought a smile to my face because something just clicked when you said you need a midfielder, someone like Rodri. And I remember back to a season ago when you and Arsenal were fighting for the one guy that completely transformed Arsenal's team. And you said it was overpriced, overrated, and completely changed the look of the team. Had them
I did
fighting
not.
with
Okay, I
you
never said
throughout the whole
overrated.
season.
Don't put words in my mouth, Fabi.
Okay, maybe it was Tyler. Maybe it was Tyler. But going back to it and looking at it in hindsight, would you not love a Declan Rice in your squad right now?
I think anybody would love a Declan Rice in their squad right now.
Is there any
Like,
regrets letting him go to Arsenal?
I don't think he even wanted to come to City to begin with. So I have to say again, no, but I do regret Palmer so much. Just because I think he would have just been a different kind of tool for Pep to use and something completely fucking different. But you know Pep, like if it's different, he doesn't like it. So
Yeah, no,
it's not
absolutely.
looking good. So Twister, I have to give you the fucking credit. You guys stole a point from us. It's always so hard to go. I actually really don't like Park anymore. Ever since they've like gotten taken over, ever since then they've just been a bucking bogey team for us. So
So, when's the
you
last time
know,
you guys actually beat them in St. James
I
Park?
mean, last year again when with that Oscar
Oh, yeah.
Bob, come on
Oh,
now.
okay, okay, that's right. I thought the way
I
you said
mean,
it made
yeah,
me think it was been a
yeah, no,
while ago.
they're just an annoying fucking team to play.
Oh, okay, I
Like I
got you.
guarantee you, if they had Isak, which is he, where was he at? I don't know.
He's injured.
See, that's something I don't like
Yeah,
about
so
that boy. He stay injured, bro.
you think
I
with
think we would have
Isak you guys
lost
would
if,
have took the L?
yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Dude, like I think it's time. Like Walker has had a shit year, not like a shit like season. He's had a shit whole year. I think it might be. I think it might be
He's got too
time
much going on, bro. He's got too
to.
much going on.
I think it might be time to integrate the boy Rico Lewis, which I fucking love Rico Lewis.
I
Like
like that
he's
kid.
totally different profile than like to my boy, but defensively, yeah, no, it's not the greatest. But to have him like pop into the midfield and like pick out those key passes, like he's a solid player, yo. And I like him right now a lot more than fucking Walker, so I'll take it.
I agree with the Rico Lewis thing. I think the times we've seen him be integrated to the squad, he's been really good, and I think he deserves a shot. I mean, it's kind of what happens with every squad. Their older players
Yeah,
get phased
I
out.
think we're just going through a phasing out. Like
Yeah,
Gundo's a year older. Not Rodri. KDB is just gonna get more and more injured throughout the year. So
yeah. No, that's true. I think it's
if Arsenal are gonna do it, this is the year. But shit, I think you guys got to be worried about Liverpool.
and that's where I was gonna go to next. Is we talk about Arsenal getting better and better every season. Well, there's another team that's gotten a lot better and seems to have gotten their things sorted out, their shit on a roll, and they don't even have all their players at the top of their form. Hayes hasn't even started playing. Devin, you guys are in the top of the league, looking good, looking hot. I know you always are hesitant to give your team high ratings or high
Plaudits.
markings or anything. Your thoughts so far, your expectations, your hopes for this season?
I don't know, man.
Oh man, you gotta love
Devin always
it.
sounds like he's so like just been lost the Champions League final the night before, you know?
You sound like a United fan, bro.
Yeah, for real. You ain't taking a drubbing. You won.
You sound like Ten Hag's been your manager for like the last 5 seasons. Oh god.
If we keep playing the way that we're playing, it would be super cool to just stay in the battle for the league and go as deep as we can in the Champions League. I think every year it's like I want a treble, but it's just like realistically, I don't know, man. I mean, like I said, we're just on that new manager bounce right now.
Oh,
Is that what you think this is?
So I mean, we got a good team. I'm not, what do you want me to say? We got a good team. But
You sound humble, man. Come on, where's the chest?
bro. If I was looking like Liverpool right now, I'd be talking with hella chest. But Arsenal don't look as as comfortable as Liverpool, so I'm not. I'm not talking with chest.
I mean, yeah, I don't. I mean, again, like I said, I don't really know what to say. I'm in it for the ride.
Yeah, I hear you.
I'm always in it for the journey. Never really about the destination, but
So
I don't really know what to think about this team right now. Um,
where did you place him at the beginning of the season?
Fifth.
Yeah.
Fifth, and you still stand by that.
So
I don't know, man.
Look at Devin's answers, dude.
It's a long season, man.
I don't know, man.
It is a long season. You are right, and I respect you for holding back on the
I just want to be
expectations.
realistic.
No, I hear
I could come
you.
up here and be like, "Oh, we're the best team in the world,"
Well, okay, yeah, that's
but
not true, but
yeah, okay, well,
Mm,
I could come up here and be like, we're gonna win it all, and
Yeah.
gonna win the Premier League, we're gonna win the Champions League. Fuck y'all. But it's like
Devin,
I don't know, man.
can I ask, is there what you like and maybe don't like about things under Slot?
I mean, not so much right now. I haven't really noticed anything that's like really concerning other than the fact that he hasn't sold Joe Gomez yet.
Oh my God, I forget that Buddy's still there.
Um, so yeah, I don't really know what to say. It's just, I love this team more than I pretty much love anything else. But they're definitely the ones that'll have you feeling like you're unstoppable, and then the next day you get beaten by some relegation battle team. So it's,
No,
who knows?
yeah, it just happened one too many times, right? So now you're I feel that. I respect it. Um I do want to talk about Chelsea because we did talk about Cole Palmer, but we didn't actually talk about the team in general. Thoughts, expectations on the team, how they're doing, how they're going to finish, and also if you heard the quotes from the coach. Did you guys catch the Chelsea game at all? Did you see the goals they conceded?
No, I did. I honestly,
So for
I
a
didn't see
recap,
it.
essentially they conceded, or they made plenty of mistakes passing out from the back, forcing it, playing out from the back, and Robert Sanchez made some mistakes, and it led to goals that they conceded. Right, happened twice, and they did. Cole Palmer went off, and they obviously won the game. But then Enzo Maresca gets interviewed or asked about the situation, and he just openly says, "Yeah, we're gonna concede 10 more goals exactly like this." I think the point he was trying to make was that he's gonna swear by playing this system and playing out from the back. But do you think that he legitimately has no care of conceding because he's confident enough that his team's gonna score, or is it just one of those things managers say because they want to like put out a funny or a quick quote that is gonna make the headlines? I don't know. What are your thoughts on the quote that he gave?
Who are you asking?
Oh, anybody, whoever.
You know,
I
I
think
actually,
he's playing mind games.
My games. That's how I
Yeah.
took it. That's how I took it.
I
He's
actually
just
think the
feeding into it.
opposite.
Okay.
I think Maresca's actually he might be cooking because he understands that defense for Chelsea is booty cheeks. That it's not good enough, but that attack will outscore or at least compete with anybody on the league. Like their bench is fucking ridiculous. Yeah, they are playing out from the back, and I did say this when Poch left. They were gonna start playing out from the back, and it was gonna be a whole new world for them. But the guy's honest and has been since day one, even about the squad, and he knows what he wants. And I think he's not bullshitting. I think he's for real.
Okay. Yeah. No, I can see both approaches, but yeah, I just wanted to see what you guys' thoughts were on that because I know some podcasters that have been watching it were talking about it, and some people hated it. They thought it was arrogant and cocky. Some people, like Oliver said, it's just mind games, and some people also agreed with you, Yusuf, that he's just confident in the system. So I just wanted to see where everyone fell in that kind of line or how they interpreted it. That being said, how do we feel about teams that play out through the back? I know one of the things Arteta implemented when he first came to Arsenal was playing out from the back, and I absolutely despised it because they conceded so many goals from that, and it looks so stupid. And it's similar to what's happening right now with Chelsea. But in hindsight, 2, 3 years later, I see the difference in how much more comfortable Arsenal are playing out for the back, playing out of pressure, and the benefits of getting that instilled and ingrained in their brains. So do we think that not necessarily whether it's right or wrong, but do you think that when you do that approach, and you can tell me whether your teams do or not, because again, I don't watch every single game, but would you rather have your team play out from the back every single time and live or die by that play style, or adapt to how the game flows and just go and what you see less tactics but more counter-attacking football, I guess you would want to call it?
I th- you know, I think now that you say that, it's probably yeah, like what he's saying is it's growing pains. Then he's probably is trying that and saying, yeah, we're gonna concede this many because we're trying this and we're gonna try it until it works, just like
Yeah.
Arsenal does it.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
think I would have been a lot more against what Maresca doing and saying if I didn't see it firsthand with Arsenal and how much it's changed their team. Because I think we can all say that they feel a lot more confident when their defense and their passing, they look like a more solidified team. They have one of the best center back partnerships and just defensive records in the league. And I think a lot of that comes from the confidence that they develop in themselves, playing out from the back and communicating the way they do. But it wasn't pretty. back even when we had Leno and how he conceded so many goals because just poor passing. It was really bad. I know Leno had the stat for the most saves was because we kept passing the ball straight to the fucking offense. It was really bad. But you now see the difference, and Arsenal have completely flipped and reversed that narrative in terms of their defensive record. So, but anyways, enough of that quote. Enough of that. Chelsea, what are your thoughts, man? How are they going to finish this season? Axel always talks about the roller coaster ride. It's looking more like just an upward trajectory lately. Sancho's been cooking. Yusuf, again, we keep bringing it up. You're one of his biggest haters, but bro, he's not doing nothing wrong. What's going on, man? What are your thoughts on Sancho and Chelsea?
Oh no, I always knew Sancho was kind of going to cook by the way he was at Dortmund. I want to talk
Yeah.
about my other fucker that hasn't been playing, and they still look good. I don't know if actually has Enzo been playing for them recently.
Caicedo and Enzo usually are the
Yeah.
two. Yeah.
Oh, never mind, 10. Them niggas suck still.
Bro, you're gonna live and die by that, aren't you? He's gonna end up
I
with
have
like,
to,
even if he gets like player of the season, you're not gonna like put your hands up.
but he's a fraud out there.
Not that I think he's gonna get player of the season, but yeah, he's
And
just gonna.
yeah, I'll lose my shit.
No, I think Chelsea are going to do pretty good. I actually think they are going to stay in Champions League. I think they're going to qualify. My picks up until, I guess we'll do a whole video dedicated of predictions and stuff, but I'm just going to go ahead and say if I didn't already, I can't remember my predictions actually. Chelsea is going to make it in Champions League for me. And I think the other three teams are Liverpool, Arsenal, City. I think Spurs misses out. I think Villa misses out. Newcastle misses out, and definitely United misses out. So, if you guys want to quickly do what your too early top four predictions real quick.
Yeah, City, Arsenal, Newcastle, Spurs.
Respect, taking the Chelsea dropout and Liverpool dropout. Okay, Yusuf.
City, Liverpool, Arsenal, Spurs.
And Devin, hit me with your top four.
Probably City, Arsenal, Villa, Chelsea.
Still no Liverpool. Haven't done enough yet, I guess. Okay, but all right, yeah. That's. I mean, it's.
You're a hard man to please. Damn.
I don't know what to expect, man.
He just needs to see
I
Keza
feel you,
play.
bro.
He just needs to see Keza play, and then he'll change his mind. But
I just
And
yeah,
what-
come back to
Casey,
me
when
on like
when is he
January
playing?
1st.
that is a good question, Devin. Have you heard any news on Keza?
What do you mean?
Like, is he cleared? Is he healthy? What's the
Yeah.
message?
He's playing. What do you mean?
He's playing. Okay, I didn't catch your last game.
Yeah, he
so I didn't know.
started. He started against West Ham.
Oh,
in
there
the
you
League
go.
Cup
So he's
last
there. He's
week,
ready.
and he
How do you
came
look?
off the bench on the weekend. Yeah, he looked good. He
All
made
right.
the West Ham defender near the box.
There you go. That's what I like to hear, man. I love Keza. Wasn't able to catch the Liverpool game. I that's one of the players I rate so heavy, and I'm excited to see him in the Prem more. But yeah, okay. So we talked about most of the things except for the one other big topic that I've been trying to prolong as long as possible because Johnny's still not here yet. But we're gonna jump straight into it and talk about the bald man himself, the fraud, Eric 10 fraud, drilling out.
Yeah.
Get that man
Fine.
out. Eric 10 haram. Eric 10 excuses. Eric 10 everything. Bro, get this guy out of the Prem. Get this guy out of
10, everything
management.
except 10 wins.
For real. Eric stepped 10 points. Can't even. Bro, no. Dude, their goal difference is terrible. Have you seen their goal difference? I think it's like negative.
Bro, I have more goals than United.
Dude, it's embarrassing. these United fans talk with so much chest, and then come to get pumped by no sun Spurs. There was no sun, and if Timo Werner had his shooting boots, they'd be down like 6-0 at halftime. Like it's insane.
When does Timo Werner ever have his shooting boots? Honestly,
Just
like
when
the
he's
Highlands.
he's just when he was at Red Bull, bro. That's the only time. But
I rated him so highly at Red Bull too.
dude,
I hate him for that.
the drop off has been insane. But dude, what are we saying about this manager? Is he surviving? Like, what's gonna happen? Is he? We talked about he might survive recently because we assumed he'd do well, but we did talk about how maybe they drop points against Palace and Brighton and Spurs or whatever the fuck the fixture was, and now they got the Porto coming up in European football, and they also have Villa. I think Villa is their next opponent. And then there's an international break. Is this guy getting sacked or what? Because I don't see him winning very many games in the next few fixtures.
get this team, man.
I do see a lot of news about him getting sacked. Probably a lot of memes, but it says something about 17 million. It would cost him 17 million. It'll sack him. So
Shit.
I guess yeah.
He don't care.
Oh, he don't care. Which I mean, it's funny because we all like hate, or I hate him, and a lot of people hate him. They're like, get this guy out. But if we get what he wants, technically he does too. He gets the bag. But I don't really care. I just don't want to see him at United because I want to see. Not that I care about United at all or anything, but I'm tired of seeing Ten Hag on the headlines. I just don't need to see him every single week, and it's always the same responses from him, same excuses. Oh, we were
Stick to the plan.
unlucky, bro.
You
It's
just gotta stick to
so
the plan.
I know it's so bad, and he's
You gotta
like,
bounce back, stick to the plan.
yeah, dude. I just don't want to see that guy anymore for him in the headlines. And I don't know. I just feel like his time is up. I don't know why they even extended his contract and they decided to go along with him. They've invested so much money with him, and 3 years hasn't done anything. Taking a lot of managers a lot less time to change their squad. Look at Unai Emery at Villa. It did not take 3 seasons, and they're way better off than United are. And it's just one of those things where it's like he's had way. I mean, Villa has spent a lot. He's had way less resources and contacts and less polling power. And look what Villa's doing. And I just think Ten Hag is so out of his depth. He just looks so lost. United looks so lost.
I think
don't
it's
know.
just he lost the locker room, man. Once you lose the locker room, it's
See,
they're not
with
gonna play
that
for
though,
him no more.
the one thing I will give him credit for, or not even credit, it's he didn't really do anything, is every manager, United manager, has lost that locker room. So a lot of the players are to blame too. But the thing is, most managers can at least change the system in 3 years with the signings they get. And all the signings Ten Hag has made are their worst players. They don't even start. Anthony doesn't even get on the pitch. Like, it's just, I don't know. Did he sign De Jong? I don't think he did. Or not De Jong, sorry. The Light. Or not Vanderbeek. Sorry.
No,
can't-
not
yeah.
Vanderbeek.
Okay. It's all
So,
blurring together. I know he signed Xerxes,
just like-
and that's supposed to be their striker. I mean, he's not a terrible player, but dude, we're talking about the Prem. We're talking about getting a goal scorer. Hoyland's still potential, but how much did they pay for Hoyland? And he was supposed to be the Holland of comparison. Like, I don't know, dude. And then they live and die by this Bruno project. Constantly getting
He is not a captain, man.
I don't know how he's a United, but that just shows you, why does the manager
just
pick
show,
Bruno?
yeah, honest.
Like, dude.
So, I was listening to the Caught Offside podcast earlier today, and they made some really good points about Ten Hag because it's like, they hired him, based on that Champions League run that he had with Ajax, but
Yeah.
he didn't even go to the finals that year. He was picked by Lucas Moura scoring a hat trick.
Yeah,
At
the Spurs,
after
right? Yeah.
after halftime, to miss the final. And a lot of the criticism, I think, that Ten Hag had earlier was this isn't really his team. You know, this is like Solskjaer's team. But now he's rebuying all the Ajax players that he had the year that he didn't get to the final as like a second chance, and it's not working out. And
No.
every year it's like United are every summer. United are actively looking for another manager. That's not a team that has confidence in the product that they're putting out on the field.
That's where my
So
question
is
is: why keep investing in something you're not confident in? Why sign a Xerxes? Why sign Delight? Why sign Mizraoui when you're gonna sack Ten Hag 3 weeks into the next?
they should have sacked him after the 7-0
Yeah, 100%. They should have sacked him 2
because
seasons ago. I was on the camp where they should have sacked him the same season he outed Ronaldo, and they performed worse anyway. Like he was scapegoating Ronaldo, then he was scapegoating Sancho, then he was scapegoating Rashford, and everything was still bad. You can't just keep pointing the finger at players and then not take any responsibility. Your team's still shit. Like, what do you expect? You're lining up against Liverpool with 2 kids and Kobe Mino and some other dude because Casemiro had a poor game, and now you want to scapegoat Casemiro. You bench him, and your team's still shit. Nothing's changing. Like, you can't keep scapegoating people and say that, if things happen differently, we didn't get a red card, if we weren't conceding so quick into the game, things would have played different. We got unlucky. Unlucky does not cut it in this business, and I just don't understand how United as a club can keep trusting this guy or keep at least investing resources to this guy. And I just don't know how he's still in a job.
So
Dude,
you think he's gonna get sacked by December?
well, dude, okay, so right now he's as close to being sacked as he's ever been. And he's likely to lose the next 2 games. And then there's an international break. When's the best time to look for a new manager? When you have 2-3 weeks to have interviews. Like, it's just
yeah, but I think another big problem is for United is they can't find anyone to replace him with.
they already got the answer. Van
Because
Nistelrooy's
but
right
they
there, though,
like they
bro.
would have.
Van Nistelrooy's right there.
Yeah, but like
He's,
they would have made him manager.
you
They
think?
would have fired Ten Hag and made Van Nistelrooy the manager when they signed him. But they
I think
didn't.
they were hesitant to fire him, and kept Van Nistelrooy as the
No, but they were
potential.
looking. But
I know
like
they were because
every summer,
they interviewed what's his name,
like the last
Chelsea
like
Tuchel,
the
Tommy
last
Tuchel.
like two seasons, 2 summers,
They
maybe even a
actively
third summer, they have been publicly
looking. Yeah,
looking for another manager. I just who you know what I'm saying though? It's like if
no,
they can
I get
hire
it.
like this is like Van Nistelrooy's like what first season as assistant manager,
Yeah,
second.
because he was a Feyenoord just last season. He won the league actually.
So
I think it was Feyenoord. It could be different.
no,
Not Feyenoord.
Slot was at Feyenoord.
Sorry, PSV. One of the two. One of those teams.
I just want to
Okay,
say,
so this is like his first year at they would if they could have gotten him in as manager and they wanted him over Ten Hag, they would have put him in over Ten Hag.
I get that. Yeah.
So it's just like who are they actually gonna replace him with? Because they've been publicly looking for someone to replace him with, and they don't sign anybody so they don't sack him so they can sign someone else.
I think they should have gone with Tommy Tuchel, bro. I feel like he's the only one available right now that has done something in his career to at least deserve a team as big as United. Whether he's the right fit for the job, I don't know. It's clearly not Ten Hag. So what would it have hurt to have Tommy Tuchel for a year or two just to kind of stabilize the team and at least assemble some sort of direction with the team?
Tommy Tuchel is a freaking fraud too.
He's not the best manager, but the thing is he has a high expectation. And right now, I feel like Ten Hag doesn't even have a high expectation for his team. I think the reason why he's never upset with how they perform is because he doesn't expect them to perform well. It doesn't seem like he's shocked by their bad performances. I don't know what he can lie as much as he wants to the press and say that they deserve to win when they got outplayed in every aspect of the game. But I think truly he knows what the limits are to his team. Or well, no, even then that's a lie because his team's way better than what they're performing. They have players to at least be in the top 10. They're 12th right now, aren't they? No, they're 13th. It's bad. It's so bad, and I love every second of it. So I don't know. I hate him, but I love seeing him fail. You know how I am. My bias, Ronaldo thing. I never let that go, and I'm living it up and loving every second of it. But I'm hating every second that he's still a manager. I wish it would have happened so much faster. I don't know. I think every Ten Hag stand has gotten close to the point where they're changing their mind. I think the time's
Who
coming.
do you, who is standing down?
Bro, there's a fan base for
Who?
this guy. Why is he
there?
online? Why do
Yeah,
you think he's still?
online.
Why do you think he's still in a job? If everyone actually hated him, he would have been out, bro. There's people that swear by him,
They
which
wrote
is
him a letter, bro.
they
They
did.
wrote him a letter.
They wrote a letter to keep Ten Hag.
You know
And
what? I think those are the opposition.
They
man.
deserve this shit. Well, I don't know. I don't fuck.
Yeah.
I think Oliver got the point though, bro.
But I
Those
just
are
wanna
fake
say-
fans. Those are fake.
just
Those are
wanna
like
say-
Chelsea fans.
From like even a tactical point of view, he's getting disrespected because Ange came in with. I mean, every team has some sort of like holding mid or somebody covering
Yeah.
the center backs.
Oh, yeah.
Those fuckers played 2-8s and Kulusevski and said,
Yep.
"Bum the mid, bro." They legitimately ran through that team with Mickey Van de Ven. And that happens at least once a game with United. It happened against Liverpool and it happened against Southampton. This team is just fucking lost. Like genuinely, I have no idea what to do when they play. And I just want to say, you guys, welcome for giving them that cup and just giving them another 6 months of life.
Yeah. So
Because
imagine.
I want to.
So
play
imagine Ancelotti keeping his job at Real Madrid after finishing 8th in the league and winning the Copa del Rey. Imagine Ancelotti keeping his job.
Yeah. Are you talking about recently or what are you talking about?
No, yeah, I'm saying like last year, Carlo Ancelotti
Oh, I get what you're saying. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
wins the Copa del Rey, but finishes 8th in the league. He's not keeping his job at
No,
Madrid.
no. Dude, he's not keeping the job if he finishes below the top 4. So I think 5th, 6th, you're not keeping your job. I think your Copa del Rey's one of the least important trophies in Madrid's mind. So, what is the FA Cup? What was it? Was it the FA Cup or the?
So it was the
Community-
League Cup.
The League Cup.
Or
So
no,
not
it
even.
was, no, it was FA. It was FA Cup.
It was FA Cup. So yeah,
Liverpool won the League Cup.
and you see how serious those teams take the competition. Like it's a Mickey Mouse Cup at this point. No disrespect to the FA Cup, but it's effectively been relegated to the Mickey Mouse Cups.
No, the
It's
top
just-
teams don't take it seriously.
They
till
don't
like
take
the
it
7th
serious.
round, and they're in it in the 3rd round.
So when Ten Hag
play the
says, "Oh,
games
I'm one of the most
until-
successful managers outside of City in the time here," and you look at what he's talking about, you're just like, dude, you're such a fraud. Honestly, Yusuf, I blame you because why'd you guys let him win that fucking
What
final?
did I
bro?
do?
Like, why'd you guys let him win that
Oh,
final,
no, you-
dude? Come on, bro.
Just so that way we can all get one more like punch in. Liverpool got their 3-0 in.
Oh, dude, but listen.
Tottenham got their
And
3-0.
Sly, Sly is breaking him down in the post game.
It's literally mid fucking like literally getting tactically disrespected, yo. Like that's not okay.
Bro,
On live TV in
I'm
front of your
so
children.
mad. I'm so mad because this dude might actually get sacked before Arsenal get to play them. When do they
No,
play?
that's what I'm saying. Like, I really hope he stays before. I want to play him. Please give me a chance.
That's what I'm saying.
Honestly,
dude.
but the thing is I've been saying things like that since like Louis Van Gaal.
You beat them 7-0.
So
since you
it's
beat-
like I don't care who manages this club. They're so lost. I don't care. They're gonna be trashed today. They'll be trashed tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't think, dude. I think it's a tough project regardless. Yes, Ten Hag is not helping, but I think whoever comes in is not gonna completely flip the switch in an
Yeah,
instant. It's no manager bounce, bro. That's a no manager bounce right there. I don't know. I'll respect the manager that comes in and completely changes it within the same season, because that is a tough ask, and I don't know. It doesn't look too hot, and what their offense is the worst Rashford we've seen in years. Garnacho, who's one of the most overrated Premier League wingers right now, and Boylan, who's constantly injured. Who else? Xerxes, who's not a striker. That's not an offense you want to compete for top 4. That is, and Bruno, your captain, big Bruno, who they won their appeal. Did you see he's not going to get suspended for 3
He's
games?
lucky he's fucking rat bastard.
I think they were better off with him actually being sat out for 3 games, because they could have tried to play with system without Bruno. When Christian Eriksen's one of your best players, you know something's wrong. Christian Eriksen is what? How old now? I don't even know. He's got to be up there.
34 or some
Oh,
shit.
I don't know why he's in this squad.
It's bad.
I got
It's
a lot of dead. Like, I really don't want to praise Tottenham because any team, like, that plays them looks good. Like, Man United make any team look good. It's fucking, like, good for Tottenham. Good job. You did it. Ooh.
Yeah, I don't know. I really want to see him sacked, and considering the fact that if it happens, it'll be before the Arsenal fixture. Maybe I change my. But I'm tired of hearing about this guy, so I don't know what I want more: to just stop hearing about him, or to get the points in and then have him sacked.
Can I just ask one
Just
quick
delete
question?
Twitter for a couple days. You'll be fine.
Oh man,
What happens when Rude takes over? What happens?
bro? They're still shit. It's just I don't want to see the bald fraud anymore, bro. I don't want to see him. I don't think Rude changes much, but I think at least
Nah, the real bald manager is Lot, and everybody knows it.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
There's
Can
the
only-
chest.
There's a new bald man in town.
His name is not Ten Hag.
So
That's
okay,
one
let's
thing
talk
for
about
sure.
that then. Like, he gets sacked. Does he go anywhere?
Bro, no. What are you talking about? He's gonna get the bag. He's gonna be on vacation for at least a year, dude. What
He's
the
not
hell?
going. He's not getting hired again.
I mean, he'll get
I bet
hired
he sign-
again.
I bet he signs for Roma.
was
Ooh,
gonna say,
I
The Italian league for sure.
think he just goes back to freaking Netherlands. I
Ajax?
think, yeah, maybe not Ajax exactly, but I think he just goes back. I mean, he's trying to sign all his Ajax players back. He's obviously still has a fondness to Ajax.
Dude,
So.
imagine he gets fired, right? And then like Van Persie or whatever takes over, and fucking he goes back to Ajax and buys him back.
Hell no.
He buys all his players back again.
He
I
gets
feel,
the
I would
bag.
feel so bad. I would feel so bad for all of those players. I had to go. That it's like we got rid of him finally. Oh man, I gotta go play for him again.
Oh,
He's like, I
dude.
just got away from you.
Tired of this dude being in my DMs for 6 years.
They obviously agreed to the United move, though.
Well,
He's
they're
gonna
like,
have.
oh fuck, Man United, oh fuck, money.
Yeah. Thank the Lord that football doesn't work like American sports, where
You have
if a
no
team
say.
just trades you, you're going. If you have
Yeah.
no say in the
Good
matter.
choice,
If you're traded,
Yeah.
you're going.
That would cause some crazy headline stories right there.
You don't have to. You don't sign nothing. You don't agree to nothing. They say, "Oh, you're one day you're living in LA." They go, "Oh, we just traded you to Cleveland. You're going to Cleveland. You got no
Yeah,
say in the matter."
I still
Dude.
remember Derrick Rose crying, bro. Why they do my Derrick Rose like that, bro?
Dude, imagine Holland just getting notified one day that he's gonna play for
Dude, I'd
United.
lose my mind. I would lose my. I'd stop watching this.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
He's like, oh, Holland, by the way, you're playing for United this season. Don't know what you're doing here. You gotta drive the other side of Manchester, dude.
Yeah.
Oh shit, dude, that'd be
You've been traded to Ipswich.
Ooh, Calvin Phillips back to City.
You've been or you've
Dude,
been
imagine
you've
how,
been
can you
traded
imagine
to
how
Everton.
shit football would be? Like Pep would be like, I don't. Pep was like with Theo Hernandez. He would be pissed.
Yo, Pep would be a fraud in this sort of system. His legacy would not be the same if if he could not have a say in the squad that he has, or who he loses. I guess would be the situation there. I think who would thrive in this? Who would be who? I
Nobody would
think
thrive. I think no, man.
Mourinho, bro. Mourinho loves the chaos, dude. He would thrive in this shit, dude.
In
You guys
Man United.
No, it's
pull up
just
the
like
laptop.
any team with transfer system. I
Yeah,
don't
if the
know.
rules if the rules were just the the clubs decided who plays for when, who plays for who, and they don't need the players
Players
to
have no
agree to a
say.
transfer. They could just send them.
All over the fucking Europe. Europe would just be dead.
You know, all these frauds with the gambling addictions would get drafted to the biggest teams out of nowhere. Like Tonali and Ivan Tony would have got sent to Real Madrid just to get hit with a ban a week later. Oh no, that'd be hilarious. Okay, I wish that was the thing. But no. Shit. Let's see what topics we haven't covered. I think we covered most of it. Yusuf, I guess you were gone for the part that we talked about. How you liking this new Champions League format? Obviously, it's only one season or one match in so far. Second match you just had.
I kind of
Bro,
forget. I don't know why. I kind of forget that there are games on Thursdays.
yeah, it's tough to remember that there's an extra day. There's an extra day of Champions League. I personally hate that it's on Thursday. I wish it would be like I'd rather be a Friday or a Saturday. But I know we don't do weekend fixtures for Champions League. I don't like it. I don't know. But I guess I was alluding more to just the idea of playing more games. I know we haven't gotten to the back end of it, but are you any reservations, especially now with Rodri being gone? Do you feel like the fixture congestion is gonna get crazy, especially during like Boxing Day?
I think we all predicted that this would happen. Like the players would start getting injuries. Fucking. I personally really don't like it. It's a little different, but everybody doesn't like different at first. So I think I just have to get used to it. But I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see like the back end, like the last 2, 3 games, like to see who qualifies and who doesn't. I think that's when it's gonna really start heating.
Yeah.
Being like league formatted that way. So
Yeah, this format's kind of interesting because it's kind of hard to just, like, see where you're at in the table. Because yeah, you can see the table, but there's just so much left to go. I was talking to Devin and Oliver about we lost a home and away fixture. That's one thing that's kind of gone now. We won't have that guaranteed 2 games against that one big club. That's something that's not gonna happen anymore. But I'm interested to see how it plays out. I'm not against change. I'm open to seeing new ideas, but I also think there's no point in fixing what's not broken. So we'll see how this plays out. It'll be interesting, but we covered all the topics I wanted to go through. Anybody want something to mention before we wrap this episode up? Few
I'll
things.
come back.
What's that?
I said Palmer come back.
Palmer coming back. You know, he probably would if another season at Chelsea.
I wait for them to be a little more shit, and he's like, Bundesman.
Yeah, yeah. I think if he's like competing for top scorer and they're not winning silverware, I think he goes. There's no way he can just be wasting his talent at.
Oh no! Actually, hey, where are you going, you Madristas? What happened? What happened to the derby?
Oh shit, bro! I wasn't even
Yeah,
gonna talk
I was-
about that game. So close.
Good ass. Dumbass,
Nah, bro.
losing, drawing ass nigga.
Bro, that was whack. The thing is that dude, the break
Ain't no
ruined the whole
I don't wanna
momentum
hear
of the
nothing.
game,
You have
bro.
Vinny,
We were controlling.
Rodrigo,
No.
Bellingham. You have a fat squad. I don't want to hear.
No. See,
It's like you have-
in this
You
instance,
have no
in this
excuses.
instance, bro,
Why
there's
does
a thing
Connor
called
Gallagher look
momentum.
You can
There's
make
a thing
Connor
called
Gallagher look
momentum, bro. It's momentum.
bums.
At the time when we scored, we had the momentum. Everything was going well. Everything was fine. There wasn't much time left. We were locking in. You saw it took him to the 95th minute because we were that much better. And whatever freaking Simeone did at that halftime pep talk, obviously the fans didn't help. Obviously sparked something in them, and we got a little bit complacent because we lost that momentum. That just affected our whole mood. We came back onto the pitch and we weren't ready. We weren't on it like we were when the game got paused. So I blame that shit. That's my excuse. I still think we should have been a little bit more focused. It was the 95th minute. But nah, bro, that's some bullshit, bro. How you gonna call the game off? If anything, they should have just gave us the points, dude. What the hell, dude? You're throwing shit at Courtois. That's fucked up. I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I think they
So
should have just suspended the
how many-
game.
How many wins have you had in the last couple games?
Hey, let me just
I
say.
just want to know.
Let me just say, 365 days without a loss.
No,
That's all I'm gonna say.
I'm
That's
just
all I'm gonna say.
Just saying, it's a little too early to be dropping that many points.
We're
Especially
chilling,
the
bro. We're chilling. Don't
Arsenal.
worry, because the problem, or not the problem, the situation is the team that we are behind is a fraud team, and they're gonna drop more points. They just like they did this week, and they keep dropping points. As long as we stay undefeated, we stay consistent, do our thing, we're chilling, bro. We're chilling. And Mbappe actually being gone is a good thing for the players that haven't been playing to see what they're made of. Endrick's gonna get a little bit more time. Rodrigo, again, emphasizing how important he is to the team and seeing what formation we want to play in when Mbappe does come back. I think there's rumors that he might actually play tomorrow. So we'll see. I doubt he plays. He'll probably be in the roster. I think his family wants him to play because his brother, Ethan, is in Lille now. So that'll be interesting to see if he plays against his brother. But I think we're fine. We're chilling, bro. Don't point any negativity this way. I don't need it. You can keep that with Rodri and your team. I don't need it. We're fine. We're chilling. Just positive vibes over here, dog. Just relax. I know you're trying to dog Mbappe for not scoring. Now he's up there in the top scorers. Relax, bro. Relax. We don't need that negativity. We don't need negativity, bro. We don't need negativity, bro. No.
I hope he gets booed by the PSG fans. I hope they throw.
He will, bro. But that's their problem, not ours, man. They still owe him 30 mil, so they got to figure that out before they start booing him because they got some financial situations to figure out. But yeah, anything else? Anything else, Devin, Oliver? You made?
Oh no.
Everybody enjoying FC? You liking the game? Yusuf, I saw you picked it up. You've been enjoying it?
Yes.
Dude,
Haven't played it.
it's hard. I'm not gonna lie.
Have you played the Rush mode yet?
Yeah, I like Rush. That's
Yeah,
fun.
Rush is fun. I like Rush a lot.
That shit's kind of lit. So
Devin, if you decide to pick up FC, man, there's a mode that's just one player at a 5-a-side. We play, it's Rush. It's really fun, man. I'd pick it up. I'd recommend it. But that's going to be it for the away end this week. Again, thank you guys for joining. Thanks for everyone that tuned in.